Okay, let's talk about checkpoints. So, this is our level and I would like to have here a checkpoint. So, if our player is able to pass that point and he dies in here, then he should not be respawned at the beginning, he should be respawned at our checkpoint. So how do we do that? That's again very easy with our Corgi engine. So first of all, you find yourself a nice art for that. I have here the props. Let's go and change again to 16 and apply that to every artwork that we have here for the props. And I think we can make this sign here. So this is our sign. And even if it's death that is signed here, it should be here our checkpoint. So you add a component and it's surprisingly called checkpoint. And here we have automatically set up a box collider. You see that? So at the moment when he touches that signpost here, then he will have this checkpoint. So what I want to say in here is, let's say you would like to have a checkpoint that it doesn't matter if he touches the sign or he just passes through here, you can just extend that checkpoint. So even if he jumps over, it doesn't matter, he is now on the checkpoint. So and I make it in here on purpose because I don't want him to cheat and jump in here and pass the checkpoint. Very well, that's it. Then we should be able to test that. Okay, so I die and I respawn at the beginning. Good. And now, oops. Yeah. What a lousy gamer. So, and if I die here, now I respawn in here. That's it. Okay, maybe two things to consider when you are doing here the checkpoint, or a little more explanation from my side, is the following. If you have here the checkpoint, then he will tell you in which direction your character should be looking when he's respawned. So if you're doing a level which goes to the other side, then yeah, well, you know what to do. You should just move that in here. Another small hint maybe is, if you have here the level manager, then you see here the checkpoint attribution axis is at the moment on the x-axis, so that's okay for us. But let's say if we would like to make a level which goes maybe up or down, then you should consider to move that to the y-axis. If you are not sure what x and y is, then click in here and then you have here the x and y axis, and so you know what the, sorry, y, it's German, it's the y and x axis, right? Okay. Oh, another thing which you should consider is, if your checkpoint, so here we have the sign and we have here the checkpoint. So if our checkpoint is, let's go back to 2D. So if our checkpoint is too low to a collider, then you may have problems. So make sure that you have maybe if it's a small image which is too near to a collider, make sure that you have an empty or an invisible game object behind which handles the checkpoint, and make your sign as child of that game object. That's it. Okay, there is something else I would like to do, and that's to go to the next level. So first of all, we need to create a second level. So I take Sunny in here, which is my scene, and with Control D I can make a copy of it and call it Sunny 2. So we should go now from Sunny to Sunny 2. In order to be sure to make a difference so that we can see it, I go here to the props and add some bushes. So we should be able to go to the next level, which is so much difficult because it has bushes now. So then we go back to our scene, Sunny. And the whole thing consists of two parts. The one part is to add something to make this transition. So in that case, I think a door would make sense. And now we have here to add a collider and the finish level script. So I add now the finish level script, and he's already asking for the collider. So let's do that. Oh, that's great. This must be something new, because I remember I forgot it once. So the box collider is okay, and now we can add the finish level. Very well. So here you can set the requirements and the activations. Those are the most important ones. In our case, sorry. Oh man, we have military planes flying over my house. Okay, in order to have these requirements, you need to have at the moment the button activation ability, which I don't have in our prefab. If you have it, then leave it. If not, take it out. And I think it's nice if he has just an auto activation. So the moment he collides, then he will be automatically activated. So with these two we have covered the conditions, and now we go here to the finish level and tell him he should go to Sunny 2. So there is no elegant way to do that. You just need to really take the name and write it in here exactly the same way. Okay, this was the first part. If we do that, it will not work. So if we go to play, he will have a problem because there is something else we need to do. We should add both of those scenes into our build. At the moment, I have already added the Sunny in here because I made some experiments, and so in here for Sunny 2 we should also go now here to build settings, and you can say add open scenes, and now at the very end you should have here Sunny 2. And because I like it a little bit more ordered in here, I will move that up. Okay, so we have Sunny. This is our first one, so that's the 0. It starts with Sunny, and then he goes to Sunny 2 like that one. Okay, that's it. So we go now to Sunny, the one with the door and without the bushes, and test that. So he passes the checkpoint, and now he goes to the one with the bushes, and that's it. So that is the transition. Now there is something else I would like to tell you. You have seen this very nice loading screen. Also here, this is the one from More Mountains, which you have here, the loading scene. And if you go here to the level manager and go here to the scene loading, you will see that we have the loading screen here, which means if for some reason you would like to have something else, then maybe copy that scene and oh, I would need to look where it is. So loading screen, not scene. Okay, loading screen. So I can take that one and maybe make a copy of it and then change just whatever you need to change. So let's say you would like to change the mountains here, then you just delete that and add your own thing in there. Just maybe make sure to duplicate that so that you don't collide with the demos. Okay, so thank you very much and see you next time. Bye.